Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Raw Deal. It's me. I don't know. Fucking, it's Mongo. Look, it's been a long day. Right? It's been a long, stressful day. Lost my power. Lost my dogs. Lost my shoes. It's been a hell of a day.
What the fuck you
Uh,
mean you lost the dogs?
Look, my dogs were outside after the storm was over. We're just kind of had nothing else to do, so I had that long ass cord and someone let the gate open, so they fucking ran out.
Took
They
off.
came back only a few minutes later, but it was stressful enough where I'm like, this is getting goddamn ridiculous. Joining me, of course, is first off, Sir War. I'm not saying it, Kenny. He is our only ever double champion in UTR history. Kenny, how you doing today, brother?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Batty, what I do in my business, in my bedroom, is none of your damn business, all right?
Why
Just know my
gotta be
wife.
feet lickers?
Just know my wife like it.
I don't
Just know
lick
my
no
wife
feet.
like it.
I don't
And
lick no
God
feet.
damn, cookies. Shit.
Nigga, the
what's-
ring and dang-a-lang is here.
My man said, dang-a-lang for sale. Dang-a-lang for sale.
The Kang of the Rang and Dang a Lang. What's going on, cookies? Holy shit.
Yo.
Oh, God.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. Hold on. For all the dudes that sit there and talk about they not into feet, y'all are fucking liars. You want to know why? And I'm gonna tell you why. Because at some point during sex, her feet will be by your face. And if her feet are fucking ugly, guess what's gonna happen to your fucking erection? It's gonna go down because you're gonna look over at them shits and go, oh my God, these shits are ugly. So you actually want a woman with pretty fucking feet.
I
Don't
think
sit
there's a
there and
difference
play me that
between
bullshit, yo.
being into feet and not wanting, like, the foot from Courage the Cowardly Dog that's covered in mold and shit. Like, I feel like there's got to be a middle ground. There's got to be a middle
You
ground.
still want a chick with pretty feet. I'm telling you,
I
because
agree
if she
with
got
Kenny,
6
like,
toes,
yeah, you're gonna want the chick you're messing with. You gonna want her to have pretty nails and all that, toenails and fingernails.
exactly. Because if
But-
any dude in here says he ain't never rubbed his woman's feet, then guess what? That's why your woman left you.
But mostly when people say they in the feet stuff, as
Listen,
I
I'm not Larry Strong
I
now.
learned about people liking feet off of that King of the Hill episode because I love me some King of the Hill. That episode when they was asking Peggy to take pictures of her big ass feet, and she was like, "Why do y'all?" Oh my God! I was like, "Ew, people like feet, like I like booty."
Look, people are into, and you know what? What a hell of an introduction. Also joining us today, of course, our forever Intercontinental Champion. He is my forever rival. He is no longer Final Matty. He is Matty Reigns.
Matty Reigns is back. I'm gonna say the final gimmick change if I can take that belt off of Mike.
You've had a rough prediction season. You've kind of been on
Good.
the outside.
Good. Fucking good. Good. Fucking good. How about that? How about that?
I believe
Good.
you've held it less than Kenny has.
Goddamn right. Goddamn right. Goddamn right. Goddamn right.
Well, look,
Good.
Apparently if Matt just sends him a big ass bucket of beers, it'll be all right. It'll be chill.
Basically, like
I'm
a very cheap date.
I'm about to
take a
say
bucket of
Kenny's
beer.
not a cheap date ever. You're a very simple man. You got simple needs.
I am
Kenny is gonna be counting down to the next. Are you fucking serious? He is gonna be
Not even. I'm counting down to this fucking weekend because I'm taking my fucking belt bike off a fat ass.
Brother, if I win that shit Sunday or Saturday, whatever the fuck that show is, I gotta send Kenny like a crate of beers just to make sure we're cool by Monday. I gotta make sure we're good.
Tito made up for it because he got my ass very drunk at House of Glory. Shout out to House of Glory for another excellent show. bad shout out to House of Glory for not having the fucking AC on.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. That is
So that bitch started to get musty
on a streaming service. You can afford to fix your AC. You can afford to do that. At least while it's in the middle of the goddamn summer. This shit's ridiculous. You can't. We're having like record heats all over the nation. You know, let's not cut.
That's why Tito got out the fucking doghouse, because being hot and drinking will make your ass drunk quick. And that shit had me. You know what, brother? You cool? You out the doghouse? That's what the fuck happened. Next day,
like shit. Let him out too early, but we already said it. So
right, pretty much
can't go back on it. So we got a few things to talk about today. Of course, we're going to get into the retirement of a WWE superstar right now. But before that, I wanted to talk to you about something I just remembered happened. Ring of Honor tapings saw the return of a former champion in AEW.
Somebody got out of the vortex.
Sammy Guevara is in Ring of Honor going forward.
He escaped the vortex.
Hold on. But you see, look what Tito said. Literally, as soon as we walked in that bitch, I looked over at him. I tapped him. I dead ass tapped him on his shoulder and said, "You said you was buying beers live on the podcast, bitch. You got to hold up."
Well, there you go. You know what? That might be what happened. that might actually be what happened.
You know what though?
CEO.
For once, getting kicked off a show is good for him.
Jericho was just
because they know they
honestly it's saving his career.
Bringing Jericho down there.
It's saving his career for sure. So Sammy Guevara arrives to save Dustin and the Von Erichs, who are the new Ring of Honor 6-man tag team champions from the Dark Order. Dark Order is now heel down in Ring of Honor, and Sammy makes the save. So, you know, Sammy's working that. I don't know if that's a permanent thing or if it's just like, hey, we got Sammy for the show, so here you are. But for his sake, like Kenny said, for his sake, he better stay there just to get away from
Sammy
Jericho.
in NXT. I really, really want Sammy in NXT. Like,
they got so many people that could be in NXT. Hook, Daniel Garcia, Sammy. I know you don't like Daniel Garcia. We don't need Daniel Garcia.
We don't need Daniel Garcia. I hate it.
You know what? Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
No.
Sammy and Daniel Garcia in NXT would cook. Would fucking cook. Cook. Yes. I know you hate Daniel Garcia's dance, but get rid of his dance, Mongo. Get rid of his dance and tell me Daniel Garcia is not the shit in the ring.
In ring, yeah, he's a technician. Yeah, he's a damn good in-ring worker.
Okay, that's why I said get rid of the dance. Get rid of the dance.
Okay, but also
get rid of the dance, Mongo.
Not just the dance. Not just the dance. His mic work ain't that great at all. And everything I've seen out of him character-wise, not just the dance, has been meh. Great in the ring,
but what the fuck do you expect from somebody from Buffalo?
Look, man, if I'm gonna have
what the fuck do
all
you
these
expect
people
from somebody
telling
from
me,
Buffalo, bro?
If I'm gonna have all these people telling me I'm wrong about this, like thousands of people, like, oh, he's so great, future world champion. He needs to do more than that dance, and he needs to do more on that mic before I can actually take that seriously. Because right now, it's one of those guys where it's like, they like him just because he's over there. Is my opinion on it. Because you ever notice how, like, when people are on there, whether it's when they had Dark Elevation or whether it's on Dynamite or Rampage Collision or Ring of Honor, they will love every member of that fucking roster. But the second they go anywhere else, why are they getting excited for their nobody? They weren't even that good. They were like our lower mid. Like, they get so weird about it. So I don't really know anybody's real feelings about Daniel Garcia. I don't.
Here's the thing. The problem is, and we've said this millions of times, AEW fans can't take criticism and they get butthurt. You know what I mean? So, I'm sorry. Yes, he's from Rochester, not Buffalo. No fucking better. Trust me. I went to school in Buffalo and visited Rochester often. No fucking better. Actually, you're better off saying you from Buffalo than Rochester. Okay, I'm gonna tell you that right now. Now, but Daniel Garcia is good, man. He is good. You just have to take out that dance factor. And actually, I kind of like the dance because without that little dance, honestly, he has no personality.
Look, that's the thing, Kenny, is the dance. That is a personal me. Like, I just don't like the dance. Other people like it. It's just not for me. So if he had the other stuff to kind of get around it, I'd be fine with it.
Right.
Yeah, he's definitely a young Roderick Strong. At least he found a gimmick with that dance.
Yeah, he found. Hey, and he's still very young, like you said.
And I think at the same time they're trying to get him away from that dance. That's why they had him get killed by MJF.
Yeah. We'll see what the hell happens there. So yeah, Sammy's Ring of Honor again. Thank God just to split him from Jericho, because if he was showing up on AEW,
he'd be in that
the
fucking
first thing he was doing was he was either going to join their group, or he was going to initially. No, you know what, Chris, I need to do things on my own, and then 4 months later he was going to join him anyway. So because every single thing Sammy's done has either been
revolving.
I want to work with Jericho, or I can't work with Jericho. I'm going to do it anyway. It kind of reminds. Sorry, go ahead.
I think it's literally. I don't even know if it's Sammy. I think it's more Jericho holding on to Sammy to try to live out his youth through him.
Absolutely, of course, it is definitely Jericho. It is all on Jericho. Have you ever heard of the Bechdel test when it comes to films and TV? Sir. The Bechdel test is basically a way to decide if, like, do any of the women in your script have any kind of urgency to do anything on their own without talking about men. So like if every conversation they have is about a man in the movie, like somebody in their life or whatever, then they're not passing the Bechdel test. We're going to call this the Jericho test, because every time that mug is around, it's either about working with Chris, or about learning from Chris Jericho, or about trying to break away from Chris Jericho. That has been his career.
Always in this vortex of being with Jericho.
It's a struggle, and Sammy is there. I saw a few profiles going off this weekend about Sammy. Sammy's really good. He has not grown any. He cannot keep his mouth shut. He's not grown. He's not grown any in 4 years.
He hasn't grown.
Outside the rest of the ring, he's not grown at all.
No,
he's still a little boy, and I think that's a big problem too. People are not trying to deal with that shit at this point. Like when he first came out, they were like, okay, he's young, he's gonna make mistakes, blah blah blah. We were giving him the pass, you know what I mean? But at this point, we're like, dude, you're still making the same fucking mistakes.
And these last few times, he's just caught strays where it's like, oh, you got to get suspended. Oh, you getting suspended again. It's like, damn, that sucks. What's up, Dolores? But I feel like a lot of us saying, well, he needs to grow up. He's not going to grow up because he's got Jericho. Hold on.
Yeah, I do think.
Batty, we ain't a bunch of crackheads.
Yeah. Look,
all of us are very much educated on this show. Like, we just like to have fun. Like, all of us are college guys. Like, all of us are college guys. Like, we ain't dumb, baby.
No,
even though
we're stupid. We're stupid. Right. We're not dumb.
Right, that's the difference.
Very big. Those are very key difference there.
Like, we stupid, but dumb. No. We'll have a political science conversation on your ass in a heartbeat. Turn this whole podcast around. You think this was fucking CNN?
But yeah, so that's really all we have right now. We'll see more, I guess, as the weeks go by. I think y'all are right. Keep him on Ring of Honor for a while just to see what he can fucking do without having to be worried about that. Because if Chris Jericho goes to Ring of Honor just to grab him some Sammy, we really need to discuss what the hell is going on with Chris Jericho, which is a whole podcast in and of itself.
We need to discuss what the hell is going on with him anyway, because he's too old to be wearing those little manties he's trying to put on.
He's been too old to be doing a lot of stuff. He should be retired at this point, but he doesn't want to. He keeps wanting to reinvent himself as some bullshit ass gimmick from the 90s that I don't care about no more.
Like, bro, honestly,
call himself the Painmaker.
Just honestly, Chris Jericho, either go on commentary or go with Fozzy. Like one of the two. That's really all you need to do. You know what? Go with Fozzy, because Fozzy has a little following, and people go out to your shows. Go with Fozzy. Do some little European tours and stuff like that. They get money that way. Because rock stars tend to make money until they like 77.
Because there's no reason in the year 2024 he should even be wrestling. He should already be done in AEW. He should have already wrapped it up before Sting. I understand Sting had a 30-year career, but Sting also had a time period where he didn't wrestle at all because he was in WWE, and then he left WWE and didn't wrestle. He was just making money. Chris Jericho, Vince knew when it was time for him to sit down. He was like, "I don't want you." He's at AEW. All right. We respect that. Like 3 years done. You're over.
That first year was great too. That first year,
he's 3 years. He's beyond cooked. He's been cooked, and it hasn't hit him yet. He's almost. It went from. Me and Greg have talked about this a bunch of times. He didn't know when to shut the fuck up. And then he kept running his mouth, and then he lost me as a listener. And he always does that. He never knows when to shut up. And Dolores sits right there. He is a youth vampire. Sammy needs to grow up. Sammy ain't gonna grow up if you got Chris Jericho, because Chris Jericho think he a rock star. Chris Jericho has always been a bad influence on folks.
That man was getting mad because people in WWE weren't going out drinking with him. So, like, of course he's gonna cause problems with younger talent that like to go party. Like, that's what he wants to do.
Chris Jericho probably got along better with Undertaker and that mindset than the mindset of we gonna sit back here and play video games. He's like, nah, fuck that. We about to get shit faced. John Moxley, Jimmy Uso. One of the two, we know one of the two is went to rehab. One of the other two probably has been to rehab.
If not, they're keeping a very close eye on his ass for damn sure.
Right.
His ass went to rehab. I think part of the last time he got arrested, that was part of the deal for him not doing jail time, was him going to like rehab.
That is a deal, right? Like after so many times, like, all right, you either need to like
especially if you got money and if you got people with like that can do shit, that's definitely.
Like, I think about the pictures back in like 2012, 2013, all like during that era when Chris Jericho was around, and you see him just knocked out drunk, rock star drunk with John Moxley and Jimmy Uso. They're partying. What's up, Mama Rivers? But you see him.
Hello.
You see them drunk.
I've got 6 stars.
Him, and then it's like,
what up, midget?
It's official. 6-star podcast. It's official. It's right there.
What up, midget?
You see the type of influence that he has on folks.
Can't be doing that.
And you see that they try to get better.
We're about to change. We're about to change it up. We're going to the next topic.
She's shorter than me. So I can say that. She's shorter than me. So
Chris Jericho got to grow. Chris Jericho got to just go. Like he's honestly, he just needs to just disappear. Like he needs to retire. And, like Kenny said, go be Fozzy.
Like seriously, because if he does, that's the thing. Being a rock star, when you're a rock star like that, musicians tend to have long careers because they always get a fan base and they always have people follow them and will always go to a concert or something like that. Like the person that you're highlighting right now, she loves like Jaheim and stuff like that. So she's gonna go to a concert of his, even though he hasn't put out a song in over 10 years. Fozzy can do that. So Chris Jericho can be on the road until he's 77, like Ozzy Osbourne and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You can do that. Go do that. That you have a legitimate career. I'm not taking away from anything that you're doing with Fozzy because you legit have made a career out of that and it's working for you. Go work that career.
Like to Reggie, like Reggie makes a great point. Like they're not rock and roll, but they got a fan base and they got people that are gonna want to see them. So it's like, stop trying to be a wrestler and get like you're trying. He's basically, to Dolores's point of him being a youth vampire, he wants that admiration from both. He wants it from wrestling and he wants it from the rock community. He's like, I need all of it. Like, bro, you just need to focus, stay in your lane, and your lane is not wrestling anymore. We recognize you as the problematic legend that you are, but go over here and go be a rock star.
And it's sad because like 4 years ago, we were like, he's one of the greatest to ever do it. Like the way he's able to maintain consistency, like for 30, it was incredible. And then now we're like, this guy's washed. Good God, he was so quick.
Like Chris Jericho, like exactly what Greg said. Man went from being like, oh yeah, Chris Jericho, one of the GOATs, and he just had to keep running his mouth. You just had to keep bringing people on your podcast and playing stupid. And then people can ask for your donation records, you dumbass. So we see who you donate money to.
Tito, do your Fozzy and Jericho.
That's what he needs to stick to.
That Wrestle Cruise thing is always sold out. It's always like it's a major thing. Keep doing that. Like if he just does that, tours of Fozzy a little bit, show up every now and then. Hey Jericho, like you're fine. But weekly, every Wednesday, with a belt on.
With a belt, he has to have a belt. It went from, oh my goodness, okay, Chris Jericho won the AEW title. All right, that's cool. I understand that. Now he's the Ocho. What the fuck?
What is Ocho?
The Ocho. Why are you the Ocho now? Because you gave him the ROH title.
Every time I hear the Ocho, the only thing I think of is dodgeball.
Exactly. And that's coming back next week.
Oh man.
And then
that's the only Ocho that I ever want to hear about.
And then he gets another belt, and now he's the learning tree. It's like you don't need a belt. Your only time you needed a belt was the first time. Now you're becoming that wrestler. Oh, I gotta have a belt to be important. I don't care what the belt is. I just know that I'm gonna be on TV with it. So you sucking up TV time, and then you taking this unnecessary belt.
That's not cool. That's not fair.
Shit, Chris Jericho's career.
We don't need to throw shots at KD like that.
Well, KD was saving America over the weekend. All right, we can't just be
Chris Jericho's
disrespecting
wrestling
that man.
career
Which is a whole nother
is
podcast
more
we
like,
can get into.
Mm-hmm. But let's move on to
wrestling
the next
career
one.
is more like MJ's hairstyle.
Yeah, we could.
He ain't got no hair. That's right, it's gone.
We could talk about the downfall of Jericho for hours, and we probably will the day he retires. But let's move on. Another AEW star. It was told by doctors, according to him, that he probably doesn't need to be doing this much longer, and in fact shouldn't be doing anything until All In. Bryan Danielson, I was gonna say Daniel Bryan. Bryan Danielson said on a video on AEW's YouTube channel that Dr. Sampson, which is AEW's doctor, didn't want him to wrestle until All In. So, according to Sean Ross Sapp, this isn't a bit. This isn't playing anything for fans. Legitimately, he was told, do not get in a ring, do not take a bump, anything until All In. And even then, we'll see what happens. He's on incredibly heavy restrictions, and these still might not be cleared. Like right now, they're saying he can do it, but we'll see. And we know Danielson's been wanting to like make it to this point and then retire. Technically, I think his contract ends on the 3rd with AEW, and then he's gonna do All In a few dates after. He wants to make this to this date and then be done as a full-time wrestler, but like still do part-time stuff. Don't do the part-time stuff. Don't do the part-time. Don't don't injure yourself further.
Like I said earlier, Danielson is not going to be happy until his ass dies in the ring like Blue from Old School. He's literally the ref is going to ring the bell and his ass is just going to fall right the fuck over. That's exactly how it is.
This is definitely becoming concerning, life-threatening type of like situation now. I'm not trying to see somebody get slammed and then they're like, oh, he's not getting up.
Yeah, we've seen he can't get up. Not just wrestlers, athletes in general that like they want to go longer than they need to, and it ends up hurting them in the long run.
Yeah.
Like none of us hate Brian. We're all big fans of Brian Danielson. He is genuinely one of the.
He goes on my Mount Rushmore of wrestlers.
Yeah, he's incredible. Like, and this is just like we don't want this man to end up with some severe brain trauma or something going on with his neck when these have been issues he's had in the past 10 years, severe issues.
Like,
and
he's going to end up like fucking 10-second Tom.
Yeah.
Like
you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Without the Bad Habits. It reminds me of Dynamite Kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not as much as a like quick flash, but still like doing all I think you shouldn't be doing, and then just at some point.
You know what, Damien? These two may have to stay around just because we got people like fucking Danielson and Jericho. They may have to just to fucking balance shit out. Like, look, these guys, Danielson dumbass took himself out way before he has to. I think Sting is done.
Sting done.
Sting was smart enough to not spend all his money.
Yeah, Sting's good. Cena, he might show up every now and then for like a one-off thing. You never know. Yeah,
I think the crazy thing with Danielson, I said it when we were talking during the pre-show. He honestly needs to go back and watch his retirement speech from when he initially left. Because the one thing I remember him saying was he was having seizures. He was having seizures then. And now you can't even, they're telling you to not wrestle before you're just basically telling us you're about to get your head kicked in at All In. And we're probably in. You're saying you're already dropping the breadcrumbs for us. Well, I'm just trying to just piece myself together for All In so you can just basically throw yourself to the wind for All In, and then you probably gonna fuck around and win because you already dropped the breadcrumbs of I'm gonna be part-time. So you're gonna basically be the gingerbread operation man that every time we even touch you, you're gonna buzz like him. Because you're gonna be on part-time, which is gonna extend his run of I'm gonna be the AEW champion. He's becoming Mick Foley. He's sick in the head like Mick. That's where he's slow. He's crossed into Mick Foley territory now. You need to be sitting down.
Yeah. I was thinking like maybe is Mick a better thing for Jericho? But no, Mick wasn't getting belts by the time he was supposed to be hanging this stuff up. He was just like working on getting everybody over, which is what Brian's been doing.
Because Mick was ready to get his head kicked in by Dean Ambrose.
Yep.
And the doctor said, no.
According to this report, there were plans for Danielson to do more leading up to All In, more, whether it was matches, because like we haven't really seen him interact with Swerve much.
That man is sitting in a tank like Vegeta.
Yeah, like he's facing Swerve for the world title at All In, and Swerve's more focused on
Swerve is wrestling at House of Glory. That's what Swerve is doing.
Yeah, so like he's already missing things, and it's affecting the story because he just can't do it. It just makes me worried. I don't want to see that. None of us want to see this man end up hurt or worse in the ring in this last match. And like Matt said, he might end up winning that damn belt. And if he wins the belt, sorry, go ahead.
I don't want to see this man getting carried out on a stretcher.
He is. I'm telling y'all, he is. I had already thought, I'm like, he gonna win the belt. But the simple fact that he has dropped the breadcrumbs of, oh, remember I said I was gonna retire? Well, not really. I'm gonna just become part-time. All right, I see what you're doing. You're becoming the Brock Lesnar of AEW. You're just gonna make the AEW belt part-time in itself. You're gonna show up. Like Edge learned the hard way. But Edge still ain't learned the hard way. But he's making his Disney money. He learned the hard way trying to jump on just straight legs with action figure legs. They got to learn by hurting themselves for some reason. Because apparently WWE doctors don't know anything, apparently.
Yeah, that's always the thing is, they're just trying to keep the company's best interest, not mine. Like, yeah, they're trying to keep the company's best interest. You know what the company's best interest is?
Keeping you alive.
Letting you kill yourself in that ring.
Having you know what the company's best interest is? Bitch, you're a cash cow. It's called longevity. That's the company's best interest.
Let me break my neck. Yeah.
Why is that a bad thing? Like, I know the idea is that they should let these people do it. Like, no, it should not be a bad thing that they want to keep you safe from yourself at this point. When we see a lot of wrestlers, you know, especially in the past, go through way too much and do way too much, burn through their money, and then have to keep doing more intense matches and spots, and it ends up taking them out. That's not what anybody wants to see anymore.
Right.
So, hopefully he gets to the match at All In, and then he's done, and we can just he can ease himself into the backstage stuff more, and we'll be okay with that. I do not want to see that man. Like Kenny said, I want him stretch it out. I don't want to see it.
And see, the thing about it is, though, what didn't help was taking a bunch of forbidden blades in the fucking back of the head too. That's not going to do nothing for his career. You think
he shouldn't be taking headshots at any point.
Like, what the fuck do you think is going to happen when you decide to take this house call from Swerve?
There was somebody said something. I can't remember who. It might have been Brian Alvarez. They were talking about the chair shot on Jungle Boy at during that match last week, and he said, "Look, you can shave down the chair all you want to. It's a chair. It is a steel chair. It's still going to cause damage. We should just not do it, right?"
Right.
With Brian, you have had several severe concussions that led to an early retirement, and you've also had neck issues. You should not be taking severe head shots. No matter how hard they try to hold back, these guys, let's be honest, some of these guys don't hold back. That's they do the whole strong style thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good for you.
Or they just take liberties once they get out there. Like, they can tell Tony Khan whatever they can tell him. They can give him all the lip service they want. Once they get out there, they're like, yeah, well, we told him, let's go out here and hit each other in the head.
Like, we've said it 1,000,001 times. Mike has said it 1,000,001 times. They do things for shock value. And they bring in too much indie shit to the big screen. Like, it needs to stay in the indies. Like it, and we don't even want it in the indies. We look at certain indie matches and be like, "Come on, this is not going to get you noticed, my man." Like busting people in the face with a light bulb ain't going to get you noticed, boy.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll just see what happens, and we'll hope for the best. Finally, before we get to Raw, let's talk about this. WWE superstar Mako Satomura announced over the weekend that she would be retiring April 2025. Mako last wrestled before this weekend. She last wrestled for WWE on NXT, where she challenged for the NXT Women's Championship, losing to Roxanne Perez before Roxanne passed out due to sadness. And
right.
whatever that was,
that bullshit ass storyline.
The worst. That's one of the Shawn Michaels' biggest. Like, what are you doing? Mako wrestled Bayley for the WWE Championship over the weekend. Lost it, of course, but had a great match with her. I got to see it. Someone posted the full thing on YouTube somewhere, and I'm sure it's going to go on that WWE Vault channel once they actually get like good angles matched up for it.
Once they WWE it.
Absolutely. Mako was, of course, the last NXT UK champion before it was unified with Bayley's NXT championship back in 2021, 2022?
Mm-hmm.
Come around there. And yeah, she's wrapping it up. She's been wrestling since the 90s. Like, she was in WCW wrestling in 97.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
She was wrestling when Power Rangers still was worth it down.
when the first season of Power Rangers, before Tommy turned good.
Right.
Right.
She's wrestled for Stardom, WWE, WCW, multiple other promotions. She has her own promotion in Japan, which she's focusing on, called Sendai Girls, that she's trying to focus more on and give more attention to. She'll also be wrestling some final matches there. And right now, there is no plan to have her in the States for anything. That may change depending on, what the demand is.
You know what? They have to have something in the States, because what would be the purpose of you mentioning? What would be the purpose of WWE mentioning it to the WWE universe if they're not going to have something here where they can, give her a farewell or something like that? Like, we're not traveling to Japan. We ain't got the bread for that.
I don't think they're gonna give her nothing over here.
They have to
a package on NXT.
They have to. They have to give her something over here. Like, they gotta bring her here, because, like, if that's the case, don't make a big deal out of it the way they are.
I'm waiting to see if they talk about it on TV, because I think there are things they talk about online that don't usually shift towards anything.
Right.
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, and it depends on how much reach it gets. But if they mention it on TV, it's going to come up later down the line. So she might pop up at the Rumble. Maybe she'll get one last match at a big show. I'd love to see it. I think it would be great to see one last. And there are a lot of people she could wrestle on the main roster. Good God, I mean, it's stacked, it's loaded.
Right.
We just have Bayley. She go against Charlotte, Rhea. Becky, we can see Io, Asuka. I mean, there's Bianca. There's a ton of people that she can go against that would be a great final WWE match for her. Since the last one she had was against Roxanne, which was great, but it was just, let's get one more. Let's do one more, one last time, televised.
All right.
But yeah, she's. I think she's. What is she in her 50s? She has to be.
I
right?
wouldn't be surprised.
No, she's 44 years old.
No, she's not.
Yeah, so she was wrestling in WCW when she was a teenager.
No, she's not. No, she's not. No, she's not.
Yeah,
how old is that?
44. Woman? She's 44.
No, she's not.
No,
she's not. 44. No, she is not.
Born November 17th, 1979.
You are fucking lying, bro.
I swear.
Older sister.
I swear.
There's no way this woman is only 2 years older than me.
That's your older Asian sister.
There is absolutely no way, bro.
I'm doing the math here, so I'm trying to figure like so she was wrestling when she was like 15, 16 years old. She debuts in 95. That's after she was doing training for a while. So her professional career, her second year in the business, she was wrestling in WCW. Is that why? That's insane.
She started
crazy.
wrestling when Tommy was the White Ranger.
She was like, you said 95? 95, I was 13 going on 14. So let's just say 14. So that means she was 16.
And she would start her professional career. They be starting off early.
So at 17, she was on WCW.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't no workers' laws. Like,
no,
shouldn't you be an adult?
Laws.
Shouldn't you be an adult to be like a professional at least 18?
You know, in 96, you know what? I guess not. I'd be curious to see what that was. You would think so. You would think it would be
remember, Michelle Wee over here was 14, whooping people's ass in golf.
But that's golf, my nigga. I'm talking about body slamming people, bro. Body slamming people.
Not only that, this involves like paperwork. This involves signing your name on lines for contracts. Even if she wasn't contracted specifically there, this involves things that like you should be an adult to be doing stuff.
They don't be caring. They
over there they don't. Hey. A lot of wrestlers over there start out when they're like 13, 12 years old.
All they care about are your studies correct? Yes. All right. Have at it.
Can you remember when Riho showed up in AEW and like, yeah, she's like a 9-year vet and she was like 24 years old. Like,
come on, man.
In Japan, they do not care.
There is no such thing as child labor laws I see over there. They give absolutely no fuck.
They would say stuff like that. Oh, she's a 10-year vet. And I'm like, she's 22. Wait, what you? No,
in fact, hold on.
Oh, no.
I wanted to make sure I want to get my numbers right. Riho is 27 years old. She debuted in 2006.
That's how long I've been out of school. I don't need to know.
She's younger than me. I think I was like just about to get into high school, like around. So like that's insane. But over there, that's what they do.
Ray started when he was like,
Ray started very young. It's the exact same way over there. Yeah, it's very like.
We really can't.
Because back then, sorry, go ahead.
I'm about to say we really can't say shit. Tyler Bate was 19 years old with the UK title.
Yeah, and he'd been wrestling for exactly. So that's the thing. I don't know
4 or 5.
Like, yeah, it's like everywhere
else. What is going on over there?
Everywhere else, people are wrestling in like 14, 13,
and
it makes me wonder. Izzy, Reggie mentioned Izzy. Izzy just won a title at 18, but Izzy has been training to wrestle since she was like 14 years old. I think she had a match.
See, we make people get permission. Like a lot of these folks are like Becky. She's just like, yep, I've been on my own. I just went out on my own and just learned how to wrestle. Like what? No, yeah. I could. Y'all walking out the house. I was lucky to be
I wish I would have walked into this lady's house and told her I'm a professional fucking wrestler. I wish I would have.
I'm gonna let you know, Mom.
School. I'm 12 years old. I quit school. Fuck 7th grade. I'm gonna be a wrestler. There would be no Sir Warhawk of niggerdom today. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
She would have did exactly what your shirt said. Wreck everyone and leave. That's exactly what she would have did. She would have wrecked my
brother. And Melissa Bush would have whooped my ass if I even thought about it. Like I can't imagine if a king go like it's such a common thing outside of the States, and I think here we still. I am curious. I kind of want to look it up now. What like the laws and rules mandate? I can't walk into her house
right now at 43 and tell her I'm gonna be a wrestler.
Like that's why we treated Billy Starks like such a kid prodigy because she was still going to school literally during the week, and as soon as the week was done, she's going to bookings and she's showing up on AEW. Like she literally was going to high school and wrestling.
I guess indies they let you do, but like I know in WWE, like Thea Hale came straight out of high school, right? But she didn't wrestle before, huh?
At least she was
18. 18. Yeah, right out of high school. But like she was, I guess when it comes to like maybe the major promotions now, there's a certain because like Nick Wayne had to wait until he was of age to sign, right? But he was wrestling for years on the indies.
Right.
So I don't know what the legal situation is there.
Exactly.
You wrestle that belt around your head, around your ass.
As I'm walking away to do what she said, I got punched in the back.
You gonna be a wrestler?
Should have saw that one coming.
But yeah, congrats to Mika Satomura on her retirement on apparently her 95-year career. Jesus. Thea, I don't know if Thea was on WoW. I know Nikito's on WoW. Thea, was Thea on WoW? Thea Hale? I have to double check. Let's see.
If Thea was on WoW, that's crazy.
She showed up in AEW as an enhancement talent. But that's about it. But that was 2020. She was 17. What are the rules? What are the laws?
Maybe
I guess you know what? Maybe laws changed once they saw what happened with the Hardys. Because wasn't the Hardys like 17 on Raw?
The Hardys,
they were cheating.
Yeah, Jeff was like 17, 16.
The Hardys are pretty young. Yeah, it may very much stay. Maybe it also depends on like enhancement talent versus like you're signing a deal to be on TV versus indies where you're just like, here's $50 and like a hot dog. You know what I mean? Like one's a handshake deal. One is you signing to be an actual worker and get taxed and shit.
What year was that you said that she showed up in AEW?
2021. 2001, Jesus. 2021. She wasn't allowed in 2001.
That's probably right during that time where they were just like, oh man, we lost to NXT. We lost to AEW. Who they got on here? Like when they were just signing random people. Because we didn't even know who Thea Hale was. We were like, who the hell is she? They're like, Thea Hale. Like, okay. Like,
yep.
Why should we give a damn?
By the time we get to Thursday, I'm gonna like have looked over all that because I need to know now because I'm really curious.
I feel like I
feel like it's got to be some laws somewhere.
Yeah, somebody's breaking a law somewhere. Absolutely,
somewhere like this.
Because like Cokehead from NXT, wasn't he somebody that showed up in AEW and then they didn't do nothing? Then they were like, oh, here he is in NXT. He's with the family, and then he tested positive, and they're like, yeah, you.
Dimes. Was it No Dimes?
Yeah, something, whatever his name was.
And then he showed up as part of wasn't he in that group with Parker Boudreaux in AEW for a minute? Yeah.
I was like, I'm like, I don't give a fuck who you are.
If I don't watch Microman, anyone should be able to try. Fair enough. I'm saying, it's wild. Let's get into Raw. Man, we actually had a lot to talk about before. I thought this was gonna be like a 30-minute thing before Raw. We actually talked for 50 minutes. Holy hell!
That's because Chris Jericho pissed us off for 40.
Right.
Look, that's true. We could show Jericho for hours. Let's get into Raw, folks. We only have 4 things lined up officially. First off, God, thank God we got rid of him on Team Raw. Xavier Woods is taking on Karrion Kross.
Ass.
Absolutely not. I'm not even thinking about that kind of thing. Yeah, we dropped them from Motor City Machine Guns last week, and I just, no, absolutely not. Woods and Kross, both guys are guys that I just wish had better. You know, Kross deserves better. Woods should be fighting for a mid-card belt right now. You know, it's a shame. It really is. It's
or on SmackDown
fighting for the U.S. title. You can have the U.S. belt on him right now. Taking on a heel LA Knight. That's money.
Yeah.
But instead, we're doing Logan Paul. Hopefully, that gets off Logan. But like, Wood's doing a lot better
Logan
now.
Paul. He better be beating Logan Paul,
brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cole Carter.
And Cross, I have never seen someone with so much intensity and potential just
fizzle out.
And it's not even really his fault. It's just
the crowd just doesn't care.
Well, they don't care because he doesn't win matches. Like,
right.
I don't think he's won a feud since he's come to the main roster. I don't even know if he won his feud with Madcap Moss. Like, he probably did, but he might not have. Like, I don't think he wins any feuds. They could have beaten Lashley and the Profits, considering what's going on with Lashley and the Profits right now. You know, like, if y'all already knew you weren't going to do anything with Bobby, let Cross and them win then.
Like, what was the point of having AOP sit on the show for so long if you're just going to bring them on TV just to lose?
A dominant team.
I was a fan of Cross when he was in Lucha Underground and TNA. That's where I saw him, and I was like, this guy's great. And NXT showed up, and he was pretty good. And then the Adam Cole promo happened, and everyone was like, oh, shit. Adam Cole said he sucks, so he must be terrible. And that was like the online discourse kind of shifted that.
I had potential for him even after that. I still don't understand why they brought him.
I even had potential for him with the BDSM costume.
Yeah, I mean, like it could. The problem again is just he doesn't win. So when he comes out and he starts talking about, oh, your time is coming, and
it's like, oh, sure.
Yeah, sure, man. You're gonna lose this match so we can move on. Like, it sucks. He's great. Him and Scarlett are real entertaining.
He's the opening boss when you first start a wrestling story mode. He's like that first boss. Oh yeah, you won't be able to beat me. Oh yeah, get out of here.
He is like the first like champion you fight in Punch Out.
Yep.
Or it's like he's supposed to be. No, what's the Bald Bull? Bald Bull? No, I said the first champion. Glass Joe ain't winning shit. Oh,
first champ was Bobo.
Bobo? Yeah, Bald Bull? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
He's Bald Bull. And you know. Yeah, exactly.
Bobo. Yeah.
I got my nephews to play that on the Switch while we were at the beach, and man, they struggled. These kids can't handle it. These kids
can't handle 2D. They can't handle 2D.
And tell me what button to press. It didn't like it. Yeah, it doesn't. Good luck. Figure it out.
You gotta figure this shit out. It's either A or B. You
gotta learn.
Learn you gotta dodge. Bink.
Lyra Valkyria teams with Katana and Kate and the Party Girls to take on what are we calling this trio?
Stud line?
The stud line? Yeah. Sonya Deville, Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark. Yeah. It's good they're getting on TV. It's good they're keeping they're on TV, but like the story is not amazing, but it's good they're there because
listen.
Do you remember when Triple H fully took over and we're like, fine, the women are going to be on more, and it was still only like one match at most.
Right.
My thing is this: you can't have the stud line be whack when you got Shayna Baszler going over the Bloodsport, dropping people on their neck,
beating the shit out of people. Yeah,
you can't have fucking the Creeds losing when you got Julius Creed knocking people the fuck out with a lariat.
Did you see what Brutus came out to? Bloodsport. Did you see the song he picked?
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
Man, it ain't no coincidence. Soon as they get put on NWO, all of a sudden he coming out to stuff like that. That ain't no coincidence.
That's how I know you actually are paying them real money. Oh God, yeah. I don't know, man. Maybe Shane will finally be taken seriously again. I can dream. We can all dream.
I can hope and pray.
We got Seth Rollins discussing his referee instructions for SummerSlam, which is stupid. If it's not a no DQ match or anything weird,
it's the same fucking rules that every ref has to fucking know in every match, bitch. Why you gotta tell us about it?
It's a normal.
Maybe
unless he's gonna say
that way you can remember it.
Unless he's gonna come out with his Elton John jacket and be like, "This is a freaking match," and then like he's gonna have his own little rules or whatever, like the Architect Asylum or some kind. It's a normal match. It's just another way to. It's just another way to keep Punk and Drew around without having them fight each other. But like storyline wise, yeah.
And this is literally Undertaker, Brett, HBK as a ref. Like, I'm so waiting on Saturday. I'm going to be probably low-key drunk, but I'll be watching. I cannot wait for that callback where Seth is going to hit one of them with that chair, and some way, somehow, Seth is going to screw the match up. And he's going to have to count the 1, 2, 3, just like HBK had to.
And so does that mean is Drew going to lose another big match, or are they finally just going to let Punk take the loss?
Drew loses.
But again, that's like every special referee match. Every special referee match, special guest referee, if you hit the ref, they just end up fighting you back and costing you the match. So like, that's the thing. Is I'd rather something be different tonight. It's going to be a fun segment. Every Punk Drew thing we've seen has been great.
What the hell is a shunk, Kanisha? You drunk now? You drunk now, girl? You drunk now, girl?
Last but not least, probably the best match on the card tonight. Gunther takes on Finn Balor ahead of the Priest match at SummerSlam. Now, we were supposed to have this match in NXT in 2020 when he was still holding the UK title.
We have
Fat Walter with the UK Championship against Finn Balor. But
COVID
ruined that. COVID ruined a lot of things, and that was the most important that it ruined. And it was that and like the Undisputed Era, and I think it's Imperium in general, just to have like that just like nothing's gonna happen.
Like that was like if COVID didn't happen, that would have been the saving grace of NXT UK because they were finally going to bring them, like connect them over to the WWE, the rest of us over here.
States. That way we can stop having to watch the shit at 3:00 in the afternoon. We can just watch it on regular NXT time.
Man, if that didn't happen, then the subculture would be on Raw right now, and I would be happy. Nobody else would care, but I'd be happy about it.
Adam Cole would be on SmackDown
as the champion.
His ankles would still be intact.
God, poor Adam Cole. That man just wants to play Kirby and just live life. He just keeps getting hurt. That poor dude. I think that's going to do it for Raw. Anything else we need to talk about before we wrap this up?
No.
All right. Kenny, would you do the honors? Because I'm about
definitely.
I'm breathed out
because you out here losing breath. Don't forget to follow us at facebook.com/Under the Ring Pod and twitch.tv/Under the Ring Pod. You can also find us at Linktree/Under the Ring Pod. And you can find us at fingertip.com/Under the Ring Pod. You'll find our handles, Greg Bush, SK, give that man those clicks. You'll find me, Rock Ribs 44, about to put up the rest of these pictures of HOG that I went to. You'll find the man, fat ass, bitch ass nigga, punk ass bastard.
That's all you gotta say. That's all you gotta say. You ain't gonna say. That's all you gotta say.
The man with the beer in his hand, the right answer. Street team captain Boriel Mariente and our local correspondent Justin D. Bagsley. Folks, thank y'all for joining us. Have a very safe evening, whatever y'all do. And as always, don't forget again. What, folks? Say it every time now. You should know. Hey, put it down. Hey, put it down. Hey, put it down. Hey,
Cookie, come on, brother.